Last time on Shadow Piece, Cavendish spent a long time trying to figure out how to escape from this realm he was imprisoned in. First, he searched for a type of core that would release him if it was destroyed, but something like that never existed to begin with. It took him a bit to overcome the depression he felt from that realization, but thinking about everyone else fighting outside, he stood back up again and formulated a new plan. To be the strongest swords fighter, you need to be able to cut down everything and anything. First, he sliced through an entire forest, then through a big mountain, and the next stop would have been metal. However, instead of that, the Sin of Lust discovered poneglyphs and attempted to slice them apart. And yet, even with his most powerful attack, he did not even leave a scratch on the ancient rock. So his original idea of cutting through dimensions turned out to be a failure as well. Because of a short trip down memory lane, he quickly came up with one final plan, and that started with him piercing the Randall straight through his own heart. His body fell on the ground, slowly bleeding out. As a reaction to this decision, even Hakuba in the real world felt a sudden pain in his chest, which left him open for an attack from Katarina Devon. The pirate prince's inner demon got launched across the battlefield and got buried under rubble. There was no movement anymore. But Devon was a cautious woman, so she started charging another fox bomb. Going over her own limit, she couldn't really control the attack, but it was sure to completely erase Cavendish from existence. The massive ball was flying through the air as a shadow sprinted past it. This is not where your story is supposed to end, but I would have loved to see you reach your goals, and also find peace with yourself. You were always a horrible captain. Heavily injured, Suleiman reached his leader, and with a mix of annoyance, respect, and love, he threw Cavendish, who wasn't reacting at all, out of the danger zone. Then the fox bomb connected, erasing everything it came in contact with in a matter of seconds. The nine-tailed fox was a monster, far surpassing whatever they could have imagined they would face in this war. Murun fu 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 fu, another one bites the dust. No one in this world can compare to my beautiful power and appearance. The Titanic captain was smugly walking away from the battle, until she quickly fell on the ground, smashing her fox snout through buildings. Who decided that this battle was over? With the regeneration powers of her high-class mythical Zoan, Katarina was already getting back on her feet, but as she was stabilizing herself, her eyes encountered the floor one more time. She stared in front of her and saw what she was sure she had erased from this world. Cavendish! In an instant, the QB fired off a fox bomb at the pirate prince, but something about him was different. Something about him had changed. I locked you away and incinerated your real body. How are you here? The face of the Sin of Lust had a confident expression, but compared to previously, it didn't have a cocky air to it. It was simply a smirk, but it revealed a lot about him. Let me correct you in a few things, Devon. You never defeated Hakuba, but he is gone now. And how did I return? Well, I simply accepted myself. I am now what I always was meant to be. This is the true Cavendish. His eyes flared up, literally. Starting from them, a magnificent green aura appeared. His eyes now weren't blue like originally, or yellow like when Hakuba took over, but they were shining like the prettiest emeralds. Cutting through dimensions might still be impossible for me, but I can clearly see how to defeat you now. Seeing the blonde pirate return as self-satisfied as always made the beast snap completely. An incredibly loud roar followed by countless snarls started to approach the prince, but in a blink of an eye he disappeared, and Katarina Devon face-planted once more. So this was the speed Hakuba could use freely. I will have to train together with Suleiman until I can control it perfectly. After accepting his past and overcoming a trauma he had locked away in his memories, there no longer was a separation between Cavendish and Hakuba. Only the united version remained. This warrior would be called the Emerald Prince in the future. His vision was the part that changed the most about him, but the combined speed, power, and technique of the two personalities was nothing to laugh at either. I see why they are called devil fruits now. That was always just another lie the government made up. Let me test this. With a rapid jump, Cavendish flew through the air, and with the rundle, the right ear of Katarina Devon fell to the ground. A visceral scream of pain left the yokai's body. She was waiting for the regeneration to kick in, but nothing happened. Rather, Cavendish quickly sliced off every single of her tails. Seems like I wasn't the only one to change. Partner, Seems like they will need to change the name to the 13th Supreme Great Blades now. The Rundle had changed. Together with Cavendish's evolution, it reached a new level and turned into a black blade. Not much was known about how to turn a weapon into a permanently blackened version of itself, and even Cavendish wasn't sure why it happened now, but he simply accepted it. Every attack led to another deep wound on Katarina's body, as she couldn't even keep up with the speed of the new version of the Pirate Prince. It was a complete and utter one-sided battle from this point onwards. The Titanic captain understood nothing. Why wasn't she healing anymore? How was Cavendish even still alive? And most importantly, what was she supposed to do to turn this battle around again? None of these questions would ever be answered, as she was cut apart limb by limb, until the Sin of Lust stood in front of her again. No legs to run away with, no tails to swipe at me, and no regeneration to bring them all back. It's over, you oversized fox. Nobody will miss you. Morun foo 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 foo, it's not over yet. Perish! In secret, she was preparing the biggest fox bomb yet, but Cavendish didn't feel threatened in the slightest, as the compressed ball of destruction was getting closer and closer until it finally got into his reach. He precisely moved the Rundle and sent it back right to its sender. How fitting, dying by your own attack. He turned his back to the Demon Fox and started walking away, as the explosion covered the remaining parts of Katarina Devon's body. Not even a single atom remained in the end. And this marked the end of the battle between the Sin of Lust Cavendish and the Titanic Captain of Beauty Katarina Devon. Now, where's Suleiman? Looking at the developments on the rest of the island, we really gotta leave now. And this is the end of today's episode of Shadow Piece. I hope you enjoyed it and are looking forward to more. Yes, this is the end of our, I think, 4th battle technically, and the 2nd Sin coming to an end. Cavendish has won. Sin is coming out victorious once again. Next week we are going to start right into another battle, but this one will not contain any members of the Fleet of Death yet again. So I hope you look forward to that. Until then, all that's left to be said is stay happy, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay cultured. Pyro, out. Bye.